Nitroglycerin. What else can we use for stable angina? Yeah, okay, right. The rest. What else? Beta blockers. What else? And if I mention beta blocker, I have to mention the what class of drug will I mention following beta blocker? They don't work the same way, but they have the same effect. They have a lot of indications in common, etc. Which one? Calcium channel blockers, right? The ones that work on the heart, right? But the thiazide and verapamil, correct? They all both affect nodal cells, different ways, but same consequence, same target. So, question is why? Why will those drugs be beneficial in angina, in stable angina? Why do they work? Why don't I use hydralazine and nitroprusside? Why am I using those drugs particularly to treat angina, stable angina? Why do people with angina have chest pain? Okay, there's narrowing of coronary arteries. So is that a demand or a supply issue? It's a supply issue. Blood supply, right? It's a supply issue. So why do those people have pain in stable angina, right? Which means there's a stable obstruction, there's a stable plaque in the coronary artery, right? That's causing, right, supply issue. So why do they have pain only on exertion and there's no pain at rest? Why? Right. Good. Good. Very good. Now, at rest, my demand is low. Cardiac myocyte demand for oxygen is low, and it will match what? The low supply. So there's no problem. They match each other. Both demand and supply low. At during exertion, demand is high, but supply is still low. So there's what? There's a mismatch, and that will lead to lactic acidosis and chest pain. Make sense? So the principle of management of angina is what? Of stable angina is to match demand with supply. That's your goal. You want to make sure demand is always matched with supply. And that's the principle of medical management. Yeah. So since supply is kind of fixed, it's constantly low, then I want to make sure demand too is what? Is low so that there will be no mismatch. For me to decrease, or let me ask this, what determines the demand of oxygen by myocytes? It's work. How much work they are doing. The more work the heart does, the greater the demand, right, for oxygen. So how will I decrease demand? I should decrease work. There are two types of work the heart does. It does work against volume, blood volume, and it does work against pressure, resistance. There are two kinds of work the heart does. Work against volume, which is preload. As blood that is coming to the heart. The more blood comes to the heart, the more blood the heart has to pump out. Which means the more blood, the more work, the more oxygen demand. While resistance is what is the afterload. It's gonna do work against after. It's gonna do work to overcome resistance in the aorta, to overcome the pressure in the aorta, so I can push blood out. That's pressure work. So if I can decrease either volume work or pressure work or both, I can decrease demand for oxygen and prevent mismatch and decrease pain. So nitroglycerin decreases volume work. It decreases preload because nitroglycerins are primarily what? Venodilators. not vasodilators. They don't dilate arteries. They actually dilate veins. That's why they primarily work. So once it dilates the veins, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, etc., what happens? Veins are like blood tanks in the body. They hold blood. So if I dilate the veins, their capacity to hold blood, right, is increased. And if they're holding blood, there'll be less blood returning to the what to the heart. So that's how nitro decreases preload. It decreases preload, decreases volume work, and that will decrease oxygen demand by the heart. Now, beta blockers and calcium channel blocker, they decrease pressure work. That's what they do. Beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, they decrease pressure work. How do they decrease pressure work or decrease resistance in the aorta? By decreasing heart rate and decreasing contractility. What happens to cardiac output? Cardiac output goes down. What happens to mean arterial pressure? Mean arterial pressure goes down. So that would decrease afterload. And that's how they help, right? To decrease demand for oxygen by the heart and prevent mismatch. Does this make sense? Using medications to do what? Manipulate, right? Physiology. Yeah.